Most diets talk about aesthetics and weight, but that's not all there is to it. Literally everything you eat affects you. It is you. You are what you eat over time. And the diet can impact your brain as well. So I'm going to go into all of the reasons today why eating all natural foods is the move. This is about rewiring your biology so you live longer, stronger, and sharper. So let's start with the impact on the brain, since it's like the least talked about thing. For starters, your brain's made of like 80% fat. So when you eat all natural foods, you're probably going to get a lot of fat. I mean, unless you're just eating potatoes and fruits and rice. But like, odds are, if you're doing this diet, you're going to be eating a lot of meats, eggs, chicken, pork, steak, beef in general. And so you'll get a lot of proteins, but you also get a lot of fats. Now, since your brain is made of primarily fat, the more healthy fats you eat, the better your brain is going to function. It has more fuel, it has more of the right fuel and nourishment that it needs to perform on a fully optimal level. All natural fats help support focus, clarity, and emotional resilience. How strong your brain is helps you process things more, helps you go deeper in thoughts, helps you in a lot of ways, helps your brain. But you need to skip out on the bad fats, seed oils, processed fats, because they make your brain more foggy and clouded and not clear. Now, next is the impact on the body. So obviously, this is a lot more talked about. And I mean, clearly, your body's going to run better on all natural food as well. For starters, like I said, if you do this, you're probably going to be eating a lot more protein and stuff of that nature. So, I mean, your muscles literally synthesize through protein. So if you consume a lot of protein, that's good for your muscles and building muscle mass. Your muscles are built on amino acids and proteins. On top of that, you'll have less inflammation, your body will perform better, and you'll recover faster from exercise and soreness and use of your body. It'll naturally conduct itself better and use the energy in a more effective, efficient way. There's also an evolutionary advantage. Like, honestly, a lot of things I talk about on this channel, they have a lot to do with like our ancestors, but millions and millions of years ago, this is what people ate. This is what we've been eating for those millions of years, all natural foods. So processed foods on their own are very bad for you. They're made in a lab and you can't pronounce half the ingredients. So like, just for starters, does that not make sense? And furthermore, even if they weren't terrible for you, which they are, your body still isn't wired to eat that stuff. Humans evolve and adapt to whatever situation they're in, their life. And so maybe through generations, we'll get better at tolerating junk food. But right now, in this current point, our bodies are not super efficient at absorbing that stuff. That's why we get fat. But on natural foods, your body knows how to digest those things. It knows how to use them for energy. It's used to that type of stuff. So biologically, we're wired to consume that stuff, absorb as much energy and nutrients from it as possible, and move on and shit. Furthermore, you are what you eat, literally. Over time, your body reconstructs cells. And some cells reconstruct faster than others. Like, for example, I think your brain takes a long time to fully reconstruct, like on a cellular level. But the rest of your body, I think, goes faster, and certain parts of your body, change faster. But over time, I think it's years. Like, I don't know how many years it is for the brain. I think it's 6. I could be wrong. It's just a number. My bad, my camera like bugged out on me. What was I saying? I was talking about the cells. I think I finished my point on that, to be honest. So anyways, by eating processed food, you're building processed cells. Like, your cells are going to be of lower quality. Your body, yourself as a human, is going to be lower quality. If you eat all natural foods, you will rebuild in a more healthy, potent way, powerful way. So probably good examples of this are maybe acne, or skin conditions, or just stuff of that nature, besides just feeling better and being healthy overall. Like, stuff like that gets better the less processed junk you eat, because your body's rebuilding with better cells. That's the best example I could think of off the top of the dome. L freestyler for real. But yeah, if you eat whole food, you build more resilient, high functioning cells. Now that's it for all natural foods, but to just go a little deeper, I personally just switched to carnivore. I was eating all natural foods before, and as of the last 2 weeks, I started carnivore. And I've done carnivore before, but I had a Ninja Creamy, and I would eat my ice creams every day. But it was like what 12 carbs, like very low. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it does make a slight difference, like just because you're still giving your body that extra stuff and it's not all natural. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I started doing carnivore again is because I wanted to lose more weight and I kind of hit a plateau with the all natural foods. So basically, I would have either had to start tracking calories again. I would have either had to stop visibly just eating less. You know, I don't really want to do that, to be honest. Or I would have had to start working out more, right? Like more cardio or whatever. Now, on carnivore, you stay in ketosis, and that's really like the magic that makes you lose weight. So I switched back to carnivore, and in the first week, I lost like 7 pounds or something like that. 85. Yeah, I think it was 7 pounds. So that's a lot for a week. Now, of course, some of that is water weight. It's not all like pure fat, but a good chunk of it was fat. And so that was my main reason for switching. But I also feel great off carnivore because realistically, we don't need carbs. Now, maybe if you're a high performance athlete, carbs are more useful because you're always doing explosive things. But the truth of the matter is, without carbs, your body re regulates and it starts using fat as its primary. Oh my God, not again. Using my intelligent brain, which is powered by all natural foods. I've deduced that the most probable reason why this keeps doing this or why the gimbal keeps doing that is because it's overheating. So I gave it time to cool down and now we back. Where was I? I don't know. I think I was at the end of my meat thing. Well, carnivore thing. No diddy. And yeah, pretty much it's awesome for me personally. Feels great. Body feels good. I'm running off fats and proteins and my body like it. I lose weight. Um, some people do feel like worse the first few days. I don't really get that, to be honest. But yeah, I feel great. And you should try it. You know what I'm saying? It might work for you. But speaking of that, I also want to talk about how doctors like push back on carnivore and say it's bad or whatever the fuck. I mean, first off, we didn't probably eat as much vegetation a long time ago as we ate like meat. You know what I'm saying? Like as we got more modern, we started probably growing more crops and stuff. But I'm pretty sure originally well, unless like we picked berries off trees and shit. Pretty sure we just originally like blicked animals with spears, so we're not really blicking them. But yeah, you know, like oh, psh, and like I don't know what else did we use? Swords. Nah. Anyways, my bad. I'm just goofy. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure we ate a lot of meats in the past. Our bodies are obviously good at just eating meat, and it's clearly sustainable. Anyways, a lot of them push back the idea of it because their textbooks say that it's not good, right? So I'd say I want to share a story that I'm going to relate to this, right? So I have a friend, and his dad has something. I don't know what he has, like condition or whatever, like his thing is, but he has to take, or he was at the doctor to like take something to help with that, and they prescribed him something that he knew he couldn't take, and he told them that, and they were just like, no, it's fine, blah blah blah, you know, whatever. They just gave it to him anyways. Guess who was in the hospital like a few days later? Yeah. So, in other words, textbook does not equal right because fundamentally, every human is different. We all have different biology. Some of us are allergic to some things, and some of us are not allergic to it. Some of us react differently to some things than others. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like having just a textbook that says this is right is kind of stupid. Now, I'm not saying that doctors are bad or they're not necessary or anything like that. Doctors are awesome and we definitely need them, at least to sustain our high mortality rates. But it's more so that you shouldn't just trust a doctor because that's what they say, because what they say is probably out of a textbook. Now, I think the best doctors, best ones on the planet, are the ones who are so knowledgeable and still very free in the mind, or open to new ideas, that they can sort of work around things, or they can find solutions to problems. For example, my friend's dad, a doctor who could assess that and find a replacement that wouldn't cause him to have to go to the hospital. I don't remember exactly what happened to him, but it was pretty bad. I think he went to the emergency room, but I could be mistaken about that. So the doctor is a type of doctor that could look for a workaround, try to find a workaround, or just acknowledge what he said and, you know, do what a doctor should do and prescribe something better to the patient. Those are the doctors that are like top notch for me. But textbook doctors, I take anything they say with a grain of salt. If they say carnivore is bad, be like, okay, bet. Thanks for your information. Then I'll try it out. And if I feel great, boom. If I don't feel great, okay. You're not going to die by doing carnivore. You know what I'm saying? You just got to see how it feels for you. See, like I've heard a lot of people do it for autoimmune diseases, and it helps with that, or just, bodily problems, and it helps with that. So I do it simply for the insulin and the weight loss, but you could try it for whatever reason you want. But anyways, my point is that I don't think it's bad for you. Now, maybe some individuals won't react well to carnivore, but I think the majority of people are going to be able to do carnivore just fine. And it's just up to you if you want to do it or not. See how it makes you feel. See what the numbers are. They can still run tests and see what numbers are. But if the numbers are good, just stick with it. Don't listen to the doctors that say, oh, your numbers are good, but carnivore bad because blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But that's the video. See, it didn't fall again. I'm pretty sure it was the heat. Thanks for watching. If anything I said resonates with you, or you feel me for real, subscribe and turn on noties so you never miss a future upload. If you'd like to know me on a more personal level, you should check out my vlog, Joseph Marrone. Link in the description. And you better like, or I'ma hide all the natural foods, and you gonna be brain fogged forever. Haha.